Today I'm going to show you how to hook up a RSLogix5000 program, all the tags in this into the FactoryTalk View Studios platform. You can see here I got just a boatload of tags, and you see all these tags here. Well, that doesn't even begin, because if you know anything about it, they go deeper, and they just keep going deeper. So at all these tags here, once you get into the point of having this many tags, it's kind of hard to remember each tag. There's a way we can get around this, because when we start up an application here, as I just started up a demo straight out of the box, nothing's set up here. But if I go into the displays and I open up that main one they give you, you can see there's really nothing on here. I'm going to drop a button, demonstrate what I'm looking at. Put this button and I go over here to the connections. If I want to set to where that's going to communicate to, I hit this tag, all I get is a system file. Well, these are all internal to that HMI. There's no communication back and forth to the processor here. We got to set that up so we can get those in here. That's what I'll show you how to do today. So first and foremost, you're going to take your application, the RSLogix5000 application. You want to save this. It doesn't have to be the name you're running in the processor. I like to name this some default name that I always use as the same. So in this folder here that I just created a little while ago, we normally would call it an offline. That's it. Now every time that I save this file, I'll open back up my working copy, and that's the one I'll be actually coding in. But as I'm coding, I'm adding tags, changing tags, doing different references. What I want to do is, instead of having to go back through all these steps and reassociate this file, I'll name it the same and just copy and paste it in there. Then all I have to do is hit refresh folders, which you'll see in a little while. So the first thing I'm going to do is save this file as the offline file, which we just did. I'm going to open up the FactoryTalk view. Now on FactoryTalk view, on the left-hand pane here, your Project Explorer. If you go down to FactoryTalk links in the new rev of Rockwell software, in the old revs, this was called communication. We'll double click on communication setup. Now this is going to bring up this box in the new version. In the old version, I don't recall this box ever coming up. It just brought up the window. We want to create a new configuration. So let's hit. Now we'll get into this communications window. We're going to add a new communications. What you're seeing here is these are your device shortcuts. If you had you can add multiple in here. We always use one. We only have one HMI that we're talking to. We only have one PLC. On this side, this is just like RS links. This is my Ethernet. If I was connected to anything right now, it would show up here. That's how you actually set your path to the processor. Once you have the processor online, you're plugged into it, you want to open this up, come into here, you're going to navigate your way to the processor, and then you're going to hit apply. Once you hit apply, you're going to get a box that says confirm that you want to do that. You're going to say yes. After that's done, you'll copy from design to runtime. What that'll do is it'll take what you've set up for this design, and it'll copy it over there, which is what you'll want to do, because obviously if you're designing it for this processor here, it's most likely going to be running on that processor here. So it's just a quick step, and you make sure you get your communications the same. You just copy it. Once that's done, hit apply. After you got the communications there set up, and even before, like you'll see me do here, I'll be able to hook this offline file up in here, and then even though I'm not hooked up to any processors, I'll still be able to use all my tags. What we want to do is we're going to add a new communications path. Another tip that I can give you is always use the same, every application you ever write, use the same communications path here if you're only using one processor. It's just ease. It makes it when you're, in my case, we'll take code from this machine for the next machine, and for the next machine, for the next machine. So when we make alterations, as long as we keep all these namings the same, we can just drop them right in it. Minimal changing, minimal variations to the code. But after we get it, we always call it COM, so we'll call that COM. Get that set up in there. Now for the offline file, we're going to go down here where it says offline tag file. You can hit browse. Now we want to get to that folder that we set up, which I put on the desktop, COM demo. Here's that offline file. You're going to point at it. So now it's always going to be looking at this directory for offline ACD, and that's what it's going to associate for its offline tag file. Once you have that done, hit apply. Once again, you'll get another box that's asking you, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, we want to do that. And then once you have all that done, you can hit verify. And if you hit verify, this will give you a little rundown of what's going on here. It'll tell you about your communications path. Say no path is design time, which we don't have a processor set up right now. This offline tag file is assigned and found, so it knows it has an offline tag file, but it doesn't have any runtime. I didn't set up the runtime or the design device, so we're fine with that. As long as this came back, we're good to go. So hit close, hit OK. Now my tags are associated with that, with this application is associated with those RSLogix tags. Now if I go in here and I open up my tag browser, you'll see I still only have the system folder. So the first thing you want to do is go up to the top and hit refresh all folders. What that's going to do is it's going to go back through, it's going to pull the system stuff, it's going to look at the communications path, it's going to pull any file it can from that. Using the communications path, you'll get the diagnostics tags that are on board. You also get the online. If I was plugged into the processor right now, I would see all the tags in the processor right here. But since I'm not, but I do have an associated offline file, I can open up the offline folder, and here we go. Here are all my bit level tags. Here's all, if I expand that out, I'll get to my user-defined types, word level, array, anything like that. So as you can see, I can get like my left RAM axis here. Well, the left RAM actually has a lot of stuff involved in it. It has control. Well, the control has a lot of stuff involved in it. It has, let's see if we can just go like here. Let's go. It's clear to retract timer. Well, the timer has all kinds of bits in it that you can play with. So, or values. That's how you get that in here. Now I could just click on something if I really wanted it to do something. Not that that wouldn't even be right for a button, but just to show you, it'll put it right into the value there, and we're done. Hit apply, done. And you move on to your next button. That's all there is to getting your communications path set up in the FactoryTalk View Studios. Hope that helped you out.